as y'all know, we got a rematch. The Super Bowl is set. It's the Seahawks versus the Denver Broncos. Hey, we had two amazing games, especially the last game on that championship Sunday. We're gonna talk about it in this episode. It's your boy Stevo, NFL Central. But you gotta hear that music first. Let's go.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of NFL Central. Is one of your hosts here, Stevo, with another episode. And man, let's get straight into it. So, as we all know, y'all see the thumbnail, y'all seen the title. I'm sure y'all seen them games Sunday. We got our matchup, we got our Super Bowl. It ain't something we ain't never seen before, but it's different. It's the New England Patriots with their new quarterback, Drake May, new head coach, and Mike Vrabel against the Seattle Seahawks and Mike McDonald and they new quarterback, new coach. Mike McDonald, their new coach, new quarterback, and Sam Darnold. And I think a lot of people had this, well, not necessarily had this, but a lot of people had this on their slate as possibly a Super Bowl type of game. And quite frankly, I'm kind of glad it ended up being this. Of course, we all know the Broncos is one of the best teams in the world, but nobody wants to see a Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham at the helm at quarterback. It just is what it is. Sucks to be a Broncos. Y'all had a hell of a season. I understand it's a terrible way to go out. You being so close, having the game y'all do, arguably having the best defense in the league. It was the type of year to be in the Super Bowl. So I know a lot of the Denver fans ain't trying to hear that, but it ain't nothing to feel too terrible about. But yeah, let's start off with that game. So we all came into this game, and that was the story. We don't have Bo Nix. He's out with an ankle or a fractured ankle, I believe. So we knew we wasn't going to see him. So Stiddy man, Jarrett Stidham would have to come in and try to do his best impersonation of Nick Foles and try to lead this team into the Super Bowl. And just quite frankly, he just couldn't get the job done. It is what it is. He finished 17 of 31, 133 yards, only averaged about 4.3 yards a throw. And just the story of this game for sure, like it was 10-7 was the final score with the Patriots winning. A heavy defensive game. Stidham was constantly under pressure, being sacked 3 times. I think getting pressured over 30 times. So as you know, that both teams are very similar when it comes to they both play hard, both fly after the football, they both play very good sound defense. Excuse me, that's what it came down to. I think the determining factor on top of them not being able to move the ball, they couldn't run the ball either. So the fact on top of the stacking of they only was able to get 79 yards out of 24 rushes. Only average they start I believe their RJ Harvey only averaged like I want to say, and this is Denver I'm talking about. They only averaged 30. He only averaged 37 yards total. He had 13 attempts, 2.8 yards a carry. That's terrible. And that's just what it is. Whenever it was a one play, that D line and the rest of that defense collapsed on it. They didn't let that run go. And they tried multiple people. They ran the ball with, I want to say, 6 people. So they tried multiple phases, multiple people. It just didn't happen. New Vrabel, as we all know, had this defense humming. And that's saying something going against arguably the best defense in the league against Denver. And that's not to say that Denver didn't have his way. Drake May did not have his best performance, being 10 for 21, 86 yards, 4.1 yards of average, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Good. That's the only thing I can give Drake May credit, boy. You didn't take the ball. You didn't turn the ball over. But y'all did run the ball pretty effectively. Stevenson having 71 yards for 25 carries, as well as Drake May getting into that with 10 runs attempts with 65 yards. So it was a very chess match game. It was was a battle of who wanted it more. It was a battle of defense, and basically who was going to make the mistake and who made the mistake. It was Stingy Man, throwing a bad interception at a bad time, and that's usually the story of the game. When we go back and look at the determining factors of who won or who lost the game, the people with the most turnovers, which is the one turnover that did happen, was against Denver. They lost the game. So yeah, shout out to the New England Patriots for returning back to the glory days, what they once were, making their return back to the Super Bowl. Even with it shows you how important it is to have a good coach, a good organization, and just good and sound football. Because, like I said, Drake May didn't have his greatest performance. Quite frankly, he probably had his worst performance as a professional. So 10 for 21, 86 yards ain't gonna cut it in the Super Bowl, bro. But I hope you learn from it. Congratulations from it. But it is what it is. It sucks for them. Like I said, it sucks for the Denver Broncos. I know they ain't trying to hear it. It's hard. But y'all gonna be right back. Y'all gonna be right back. Y'all got a bright future. That defense is pretty young. Sean Payton ain't going nowhere. And y'all got tools to get better. So that's all I got to say about that. Now, I think we're going to go pretty much all agree that the next game and the night game was the game of the day. Hey, bro, Bobby came on here last week, the last 2 days ago, and said, is Sam Darnold going to show up? And I think that was pretty much, honestly, everybody in America's thought process. We know how good this defense is. We know how good Kenneth Walker in the running game is. We know how good this O-line is. It's all about, is the right Sam Darnold going to show up? And did he ever? And did he ever? I'm going to be honest with you. This was one of the best, greatest performances from both quarterbacks in a title game I've seen in a long time. I'm not going to lie. So Matthew Stafford finished 22-30 of 35 for 374 yards. Bro, he did 3 touchdowns, 10 yards per pass, no interceptions. I'm sorry. Some people, especially the people in New England, ain't trying to hear it. That's your fucking MVP. Lost or not, that's your fucking MVP. That man at 37 years old played out his damn mind. He did everything possible in his power to come out of Seattle with a win, and he was this close from doing it. If a couple things go their way, he was this close from doing it. But he did his job. They had a pretty good performance on the run game for the most part, having 22 total carries for 114 yards. Leading the hell was Blake Corum with 9 attempts, 55 yards. You also had Kyron Williams, who was kind of like like his stats don't say it, but he was out there. He was constantly moving, and he did a lot of good things up there with 10 attempts, 39 yards. Matt Stafford even had a big run to, I think it was a 4th down, that they needed. Trucked a whole line of D linemen to get the 1st down. Bro, like I said, that's your MVP. But Sam Darnold said, motherfucker, I could throw this pill too. He came out here and damn near did identical things to what Mr. Stafford did. Sam Darnold finished 25 of 36, 346 yards, 9.6 yards a pass, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did it. He did it. And quite frankly, I know Kevin up in Minnesota and the rest of the Minnesota Viking fan base is sitting there kicking theyself because y'all literally had this man in the building. He won y'all all those games, and y'all let him walk out the door, go to Seattle. Now he in the Super Bowl. Crazy. But also, got to shout out Jackson Smith-Njigba as well. Dude came out there, had 12 total targets, came down with 10 of them, 153 yards. I think he's making a case that he's, if not top 5, he's definitely in the top 10 when it comes to wide receivers. The separation that man gets, and we all know, like, don't get it wrong, he's a great athlete, but he's not this DK freak athlete. The way that man gets open, like he just glides himself open. Dude is up there as one of the best route runners in the league, bar none. It just is what it is. But you get that performance out of them as well. And most importantly, doing this early in the morning. Most importantly, that defense, especially that secondary, was just on it. Now they had a couple penalties, like don't get me wrong, that Woodland penalty at the end did almost cost them that Taunton penalty. But it just that play just goes to show you, like, they didn't necessarily have the offense on lock because, like I said, they still got their points, they still got their numbers, they still got their stats. The Rams did, but when it was time to lock shit down and in this game, Witherspoon, Nick, I ain't gonna try to butcher his name, but Nick, Byron Murphy, Ernest Jones, all those dudes stepped the hell up. They stepped up big time. Jones finished with 6 tackles, 2 assisted. Witherspoon finished with 6 tackles as well. Nick finished with 4 tackles, 1 assisted. Byron Murphy, 3 tackles, 2 assisted. Julian Love, 3 tackles, 1 assisted. Josh Jobe, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Everybody was flying at the ball on this defense. Everybody, like, if you just see, there's probably, like, for the most part, almost damn near this whole defense got a tackle. They're the best defense in the league. It just is what it is, especially right now. They're the best defense in the rest of this playoffs. Quite frankly, they're the scariest team in this playoffs. Patriots, y'all cannot have the same performance y'all think y'all did against the Broncos. They're not the Broncos. They got their healthy quarterback, they got a run game, and they got a star wide receiver that's a legitimate X. If you, and especially we get any type of Sam Darnold over the past month in the Super Bowl game, I'm gonna be honest, and I know it might be asking a lot, and I know you in your second year, Drake May, but you can't go out here and throw for 102 yards. You can't go out here and throw for 86 yards like you did Sunday. You can't go out here. You gotta damn near get 250 plus. No matter how, because quite frankly, you have a good defense, but it's not Seattle's defense. You have a decent run game, but it's not Seattle's run game. When it comes down to it, in every facet and every level, the Seattle Seahawks just got it. So in order for you to beat the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, you're going to have to be damn near perfect on every phase of football. Passing, running, penalties, defense, special teams, all of that. And one thing I know about also with the Seahawks, you can't give them anything. Because that's probably the reason why the Rams lost. I credit one of the reasons why the Rams lost was definitely that muff punt. That muff punt fucked the whole game up. I understand everybody gonna say, well, they came right back, they scored, and then the Rams came right back and scored again. They was down by 4. They had the chance to go down there and take the lead. And that changed the whole thing of this game. Maybe now, after that, in the fourth quarter, even though they only had to win by a field goal, it would probably be Seattle on pressure that had to go score if they score right there. So that's the most important thing. You got to limit mistakes. You got to run this ball better. And most importantly, you got to play better throwing the ball. Because if you don't, if you give this defense any amount of space, hell, it might look like that damn Super Bowl against the Broncos for real. When it was like 50-10. Because when I mean when I say this is one of the scariest defenses I've ever seen. And the reason why I've said that is because they're not scared of you. They're young and they don't know no better. And they're disciplined for the most part. That's the crazy part. But hey, shout out to the LA Rams. They had a hell of a season. Sean McVay, hell of a coach, hell of a season once again. Um, Tough way to lose, of course. You don't want to lose that game. Yeah, a lot of people. It was between these two. Like I was talking to my homie, I'm like, bro, you literally witnessing the two best teams in the league, and I mean on the AFC and NFC. These two teams, in my opinion, the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams, were the best teams in football. And I think that game kind of displayed that, finishing 31-27. But hey, now it's time for the real game. It's time for the last game, which got me halfway depressed because it's like, damn, football over. I ain't got no more football to watch. I got to watch the damn Bulls and shit. But it is what it is. So thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of NFL Central. Me and Bobby going to be back soon. Of course, I think we got 2 weeks until the Super Bowl. I think that's how they always do it. Pro Bowl first, then they do the Super Bowl. So I'm sure we're going to be dropping episodes in between that until the Super Bowl. But hey, man, one game left. Hey, if you love football, I know this is the place to tune in at NFL Central. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll check y'all with another video. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.